Hi folks, I'm Kevin. This is Real World Natural Living, and I kind of do some videos about nature and getting back to nature and more of a natural way of living within this society that we're in. So I'm going to take you on a quick September garden tour. It's a little messy, and that's because a lot of it's because of garden fatigue. And garden fatigue is a real thing. We've been working on our gardens for quite a while. I've been working on mine since March, growing indoors and then getting it ready to come outdoors. And you know, the will to come out sometimes is it lacks a little bit. And also we're busy. It's a busy time of year. I've been really busy with my microgreen business, doing farmers markets and my usual deliveries and everything. So getting out here as often as I'd like, spending as much time as I'd like, has been a little difficult sometimes. So I'm going to take you on the tour. We're in zone 3 in Canada. I'm going to start you out in the front yard, and then work our way back to the little jungle area here. So stick around. Okay, so here we are in the front yard. This is the potato patch here, and I actually cut out a 10 by 10 circle here. Last year we had corn. This year we're doing potatoes, and we actually have quite a few potatoes. I'll see if I can get in here and have a look for you. There you can see, I think you can see a little potato there, right here. So potatoes are coming. I've already taken a couple. So hoping to get, 100 pounds would be cool. More would be cool. And then we're gonna go over here. This is where our kale bed is over here. So I've had this netted all year. I've got some nasturtium there. I can lift this up a little bit so you can have a better look here. So the kale's all been doing really great under here. There, I've got some lettuce going to seed here. I'm going to do a video on harvesting the seed here as well for the lettuce. That's something I've really been into this year, is harvesting seed for next year. And so here's some more kale under there. Over here I have a tomato plant, which has been doing pretty good up here. It's a half-day sun, but I did have, I don't know if you can see, but I did have something coming to eat the tomatoes. So I kind of left these ones out here so maybe they wouldn't attack the tomatoes on the plants. So back here was our zucchini plant. Oh, I'm in the sun there. Our zucchini plant here. This is one of them. So we did get a couple of zucchinis off of here, and looks like we may or may not get another one right here. Hopefully, maybe another couple. So over here in this pail we have some lettuce. It's starting to look a little ragged. It's getting late in the year and it's trying to bolt and everything. So that's pretty much done for us. And then over here I had some burdock there. That comes up first thing in the year, and I was actually eating that. A lot of people think it's a weed, but it's good to eat the leaves. And then this is where I had my beans, in this area here. So I've just got a couple of plants I'm just letting go to seed. I'm letting these go to seed so I can harvest the seed next year. I did have this filled all with beans, but we did take them out already because they kind of stopped producing. They were bush beans, and then I tried to put some broccoli in late, but the bugs got them, and I knew I should have covered them up, but I didn't. So no fall crop for me. Broccoli hasn't been very good either this year at all. So coming to the back or the side of the house here, we have some more zucchini. You can see I'm getting another zucchini here. This one has also produced zucchini or two for us in the pot. Got some nasturtium there. The yard's a mess again. Been pretty busy and been pretty wild. So this was my brassica area in pails, and this is the second year I've done the brassicas, so in the pails, and both years they didn't really work out. I've gotten like little shoots and everything, but like right here, I don't know if you can see that, but little shoots like that, and that was about it. Now it's all flowering, so I think this will be the last year I try those in in pails here. And then down here, you can kind of see, I think you can see, this is Brussels sprouts, and it's got the little nodules in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're just staying small, so I don't think we're going to get any Brussels sprouts either. So just going to head to the backyard. Here you can see the grass is long. It's the end of the season and we don't get out as much as we should. So over here by the back of the house is our strawberries. These are ever bearing, so they're actually getting a second harvest now. And we've got these 2 cages here. So these are about 4 by 3 or something like that, and they open up so you can harvest. And then this keeps the birds out as well. So we actually started out with 6 plants here a couple of years ago, and now we're right full here, and it starting to give us a nice decent crop twice a year. We had one earlier in the summer, and now we're getting another one, so that's good. So coming over here, I've just got some herbs and stuff here growing, some basil and some sage right here, and then some coriander we're gonna have right away. And back here is a little bit of mint. And then here is a pepper plant that is doing well in the pails. Now I find that the pepper plants do really well in pails, so I'm going to be doing those in the pails from now on, and not the broccoli. So this plant is pretty much done producing. And then here were some early Annie tomatoes. So they do okay in the pails. They've actually produced quite a bit as well. And we'll go around our little fancy pool here and coming to the back. So I'm just going to adjust the camera here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I think I got it adjusted. It's hard in the morning here. There's a lot of different shade and everything. So this is coming into our garden. That's our apple tree, which we trimmed last year. So it only produced a few apples. We've got a couple of apples going here, but they're not even turning red yet. And then over here is our compost bins. We have one that's we're just letting sit, and we have one that we're adding to. And last year we took, this spring, this one here had all the fresh compost ready to go, and this one looked like that one. So now we just switch them back and forth kind of thing, and there's some of the compost left over still in the wheelbarrow. So coming in, I just made this fence out of pallets and stuff just to keep the dog out mostly. So starting in here, I did a lot of companion planting. So you can see there's some weeds sticking up and everything, but I'll show you. So these are our carrots here, right? And then in between the rows, I actually did onions. So these onions are ready to go. They're all falling over and everything. So I got these rows here of that. So they're not looking too bad. A few weeds in there. And then some dill, of course, that's ready to go. I have some more, a different type of lettuce. This is a crispy mint lettuce that's ready to harvest the seed from. You can tell by the fluffiness there. Down here was my lettuce patch. I just put a cucumber in here, a fall one, just to see what would happen, and I'm actually getting some flowers, so who knows, that was a little experiment. And so I did have some lettuce out here earlier, and then I planted some lettuce again. I had a bunch in here, but the slugs came and ate it all, and I've got the 2 plants left. I put some eggshells around, but the eggshells really weren't working. I actually watched a slug just go right over the eggshells, so that didn't really work here. So this trellis here is the beans. So this is a rattlesnake bean that's been harvested in North America for 1,000 or 2 years. The Hopi people used to grow this kind, and it's still producing. It's still doing pretty good here. You can see the markings on them are really cool, and then when you cook it, these purple markings, if you can see them there, it turns to green. So this is still producing. It's not as good as it was. Obviously it's getting late. Oh, and there is a bumblebee, so that's good to see. They're not producing as good. It's getting end of the season. So I grew beans 2 ways. We had the bush beans in the front. We had these ones here on the trellis, and that is about a 9-foot trellis there. And then I'm doing these beans over here. These are the rattlesnake beans as well, and I grew them because they're versatile. But these ones I'm just doing for actual cooking beans. So you can see they're drying out nicely. And then so once those are dried out, we're gonna open them up. And they give a nice bean. I can see if I can kind of open one up here and have a look. So you can kind of see they're getting ready to go here. And I'm excited about this because this is a nice cooking bean. So I'll be able to use these for seed, and then I'll also be able to soak them. So I did about 20 plants along here, and then I did about 10 for eating on the trellis. So here you can see some more of the beans. I hope my camera is okay for you to see everything there. So they're all drying out nicely, and there is quite a few. So I'm looking forward to making some good chili. So we'll go back here. This is the carrot section. I'm gonna have to adjust my my camera again. Okay, I fixed it. So here, right in the start, I have got a pathway going through, and then I've got carrots on each side as well. I did have onions going along here, some red onions, but none of my red onions worked out well. So that's a shame. So then back here you can see I've got all these tomato plants around here. This is a Cos Paris tomato plant. And so they're just starting to turn now. Looks like I got some slug action or something in there on that tomato, but I'm getting quite a few now. These are really good producers here, good size ones. So those are still going good. I got some more nasturtium, and then in between I planted some carrots as well. You can see I was into the companion planting, and there were actually onions planted right along here too, which just didn't work on both sides here. So just on the other side of the tomatoes, there's some cucumbers. These cucumbers were an alpha beet cucumber, and they didn't do so well this year. You can kind of see here, this is already getting big for this cucumber. They're kind of filled with seeds and everything. So I'm going to be switching my cucumbers up a little bit, and they didn't produce that well this year. So we'll try a new one. Again, I was trying a lot of new varieties this year because I've been doing the heirloom stuff. So let me fix my exposure here again. It's hard to film in the garden here. So that's filmed. So here's the other side of the trellis here, and I have a nice walkway here, and then this is the corn. So I've already harvested some corn. I don't know, I've got about 13 plants in there. So it's coming along nicely. You can see I opened this up to look, so it's actually getting to be a decent, close to a decent color. So I'm gonna be harvesting a few more soon. I've got about 5 off of it so far. So we can walk right through here, through the cornfield. Here I've got some coriander growing. That just grew out of nowhere. It was a volunteer, so I like the coriander seed, so I'll be harvesting that as well. And then over here, that's the carrots where we first walked in. So here I have another variety. It's the dwarf beefsteak, and it's actually produced really well. Some nice good sized tomatoes. This is actually a smaller one here, and you can see compared to my hand, I think, there. So it produced really good. And then again, over here, I planted carrots there, all along here in between. I maybe went a little bit too close, but here I've got peppers. So my peppers in the garden here, they didn't do great. There's still one trying to come here, but they didn't do great. I got a little walkway in here. These were mostly orange peppers, and you can see there is one here just turning color. So that's good. I got weeds. And then I did more carrots on the other side. And then right along the fence, I did some peas. So the only peas that are left now are the ones kind of going to seed and everything like that. So these are pretty much ready, these brown ones, to go to seed. I can plant those next year, hopefully. This pea was only about a 3 to 4 foot variety, and that peas went all the way along there. And that's pretty much the garden there. So that's the garden tour. I just thought you might want to have a look and see what a September garden in zone 3 is looking like, especially with garden fatigue. So if your garden's looking a little rough, don't worry about it. It's just a natural thing. So that's it. Remember the most important thing, folks, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.